What's up, everybody? My name is Big Mike. I have been reselling for 6 months. On this episode, I'm going to be covering the things that I thrifted this past week to get ready for sale. Let's get at it. All right, my first stop earlier this week was at our local Salvation Army. Picked up a few pieces of clothes. This first one's a brand I'm not really familiar with, RSQ, but it is a men's floral shirt, and I don't see these too often. I figure being a floral pattern, may be able to sell, but we will see. This one is a brand, also another brand I'm not familiar with. It's called Branson Bay, but it is a fishing style vented button-up shirt, and it's about that time of year. So we will see how it sells. Size large. Looked like it was in pretty good condition, so I went ahead and picked it up. Next one is a Western shirt, Shoot 1. And I believe there is a small flaw with this one, but a lot of times it's a lot of farmers and stuff that buy these things around here. And so I figure even with a small flaw, it will probably be sellable. I guess we'll find out. Next up is a Knight's Apparel. It's 2X. I have to gag when I say this, have to stifle the vomit in my throat as I say an Alabama Crimson Tide hoodie. But they are a popular team, and even though it's not really as well known brand, as we get ready for football season, which is about all Alabama really does is football, I have a feeling that will sell. This one I typically will not buy. U.S. Polo Association, essentially a knockoff of Ralph Lauren, but it was new with tags, in good shape. A weird color with a large logo on it. Also has a little number on the side. So I'm thinking I may be able to market it and get a decent sale on it, just because it ain't pretty to look at. But that was it for Salvation Army. I believe I spent $18.14. It's 5 items. Average price is $3.62 per item. I don't know. I may be lucky to recoup it, but we'll figure it out. I think I'll do okay. All right. Next up, I went to another local thrift store, the one that deals and helps with the homeless children, and that's the charity that they deal with. Got several items at this one. Here's a Ralph Lauren. This is a short sleeve button down Gregor shirt. Got a pretty good deal at this store for this particular occasion, and I'll fill you in on that in just a second. This one I was a little iffy on. I'm not really into the polos of Ralph Lauren, especially when they're kind of plain Jane like this. But it's a long sleeve polo. Here is, and this is one I didn't even bother to look up comps on, just because I like to sell Hawaiian shirts. This is a, looks like Joe Marlin Hawaiian style shirt, or tropical would be some keywords that I would use there. Hawaiian or tropical. Here was another one. This one is a Silver Stone Hawaiian tropical. This one has a really nice feel to it. Once again, I didn't really spend time checking comps on it. I figure it's about that time of year where it will sell. And this is almost like a long sleeve Ralph Lauren polo. It's got I believe it's like a full zip collar, almost like a mock turtle, and long sleeve. So these are kind of going out of season, but it seems like thrift stores are always like, I guess, a season behind, because people are cleaning out their closets. And then, as I said in my last video, starting to get into selling hats, just trying to build up some hats, CDs, cassettes, things like that to kind of fill in the dead spaces between sales and stuff like that. Some small items, just kind of fill in some gaps. Here's a Auburn Tigers fitted hat. This is just a plain Jane camo hat come hunting season. This will disappear pretty quickly. And a top of the rock trucker style hat. And I think that was it. That was 8 items. I spent $13.23. So that was an average price of $1.65 per item. Should more than recoup my money and make pretty decent profit off of that sale. Also, to talk about the reason why I got that price the way that I did, I had managed to pick a Ralph Lauren Henley style shirt. It had a double pocket on it. The manager there, and I see him there all the time, he wears that style of shirt, and he saw me checking out with it, and he's like, can I buy that from you? Well, first of all, I haven't even paid for it yet, so I guess you could have technically said, hey, that's mine. But I said, look, man, I haven't even paid for it. And you can do whatever you want with it. That's fine. That's yours. And so there was he took a significant cost off of my bill. Let's just say that the 2 Ralph Lauren shirts he charged me $5 a piece. So at $13, I think I pretty much just paid for those and maybe a couple of the hats, if that. So everything else was just like free. So always be nice to people. Like don't be so territorial with items that you select, because you don't know what kind of bonds you'll build. In fact, I went back and I'm about to go into another one where he kind of cut me a deal on the next one too. So I'll get back to you in just a second. So the next day I went into this same thrift store, and the guy, the manager, was still working. He's always there. His name's Robert. Really kind gentleman. So there was an item there. I told you I'm trying to get away from electronics and things like that, but they did have one of these New Wave Pro Plus things just sitting on a shelf yesterday, and I don't know, my impulsivity got the best of me. I wanted to go pick it up. There wasn't a price tag on it. Typically, they price up a little bit there on their electronics, which I typically don't buy from them. So one of the things that I got there was that New Wave. Typically they charge $20 on stuff like that, so that's why I don't really touch it. He went down to 15 on it. Also, there was a laser printer that I wanted to buy just for personal use. For my office, I've been wanting a laser printer for a while, hoping to thrift one. Typically they mark those at $20 too. Like I said, they're high on their electronics. He knocked off another $5 on that for me as well. On that same sale, also picked up a few hats. This is SAAR5 naval hat, bald head island conservancy hat. Not really sure what the Berlin Rebels are, but I'll see if it bites. For $1 a piece, I'm willing to take some chances on some things. This is a Turkey Federation hat and a Goofy United Blood Life Giver trucker style hat. Those are like giveaways that they used to do when you donate blood. And this is a farm team for the Atlanta Braves, the Mississippi Braves hat right here, camouflage. So I picked up a few hats. Some of them won't be very quick sellers, and I'm fully aware of that. So I'm not going to count the item for personal use, the laser printer. So in essence, I spent about $20 on 6 items. That roughly is $3.33 per item. Obviously, that balances out a little bit more towards the New Wave cooker. Haven't decided whether I'm just going to part it out or whether I'm going to sell it as a whole thing. It's really kind of big. So I see people selling it for parts and or whole as well. I know it can be a hot seller. I also picked up another one of those at a yard sale a couple weeks back. Still haven't had a chance to list that one. As you can see, my death pile back here groweth, and therefore I need to spend less time spending and more time listing. But I'm sorry, it's yard sale season. I can't stop myself. All right, let's keep going. All right, so this next thrift store, it's one of the local ones that supports a local church. They do a $25 fill a garbage bag full of clothes. So that's one of my little honey holes. I have to explain a little bit about my area. You're never going to see a whole lot of flashy clothing coming from my sales. The area that I live in is pretty economically depressed, so I tend to have to start thinking more along the lines of high volume, low margin items. So that's kind of how I've had to reframe my thinking when it comes to clothing around here. So got a pair of Dickies jeans, probably not the best sellers in the world, but at $25 for a bag, full bag. So 2 pairs of Dickies jeans. Next up, this is one of those oddball finds that you come across every once in a while. But this is like a 1980s style track suit or a jogging suit. Haven't really priced these out yet, but this is an extra large. Will probably sell. Those vintage type items tend to go pretty well as well. Another brand I typically won't pay full retail thrift store prices for, but because it's a fill the bag sale, Tommy Bahama polo. Tommy Bahama is not a great seller, but it is a bread and butter and will eventually sell, and I've still got the storage space to deal with it. So, and here's another Tommy Bahama polo. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is a Nike Golf polo. This is the first time I've ever come across this brand, and it has become kind of a flooded market, but I picked it up anyway. Untuck It. It's a medium size, I believe. Yeah. Here's an Untuck It shirt. Even though it's a flooded market, I figure at $25 fill a bag, not a bad deal. Here's another medium Untuck It. This one's just solid black, no fancy designs on it. Here's that other Tommy Bahama that I had found. This one's also another medium size Tommy Bahama polo shirt. Continuing on, printed t-shirts. Never seen these before. I think I've seen the stuffed animals before, the Fugler shirts. So once again, I don't mind taking a chance on graphic tees when it comes to that price point. Here's a Batman shirt. I didn't even notice this when I was picking it up. It comes complete with a cape. So it's also got the little utility belt printed on the bottom and a 2X. So this will probably go well at some sort of Comic-Con for somebody that wants to be silly. And here's a Nike Golf mock turtle neck short sleeve shirt. This is a Lee brand, which is also kind of one of those brands I typically won't do, but it is a floral pattern and it is a men's shirt. So that floral pattern has kind of popped up a couple times for me in the past week, so maybe a trend among menswear now. Next up, there's another Alabama shirt. 50 years of Title IX. I don't know. Didn't have any stains on it. Typically don't touch white clothing. I went over this one pretty well with my flashlight just so it didn't sneak up on me in a dark thrift store. And then my last item is some O'Neill board shorts. So that was it for that particular thrift store. So in that particular bag of goods, I got 13 items, and the price after I ran my card was $26. So I had an average cost of goods of $2 a shirt. So among those shirts, I should be able to make up my money plus make some profit. I will deal with the rest of my yard sale finds in a separate video because this one's going pretty long. I'll talk to you again soon. Love you guys very much. And laissez le bon temps rouler.